What's up, guys? It's the real Payne coming to you with another figure review. I would say classic review, figure review. I'm kind of not sure on that. I mean, I'm doing classic when it's something I've had for a long time. This is from 2012, so I'm not, I'm just gonna call it a figure review, and I'm gonna have a look at the S.H.Figuarts Perfect Cell. I thought I was gonna have a look at it because they're gonna release the premium color, and I'm not sure about that one. I don't know about the premium color one. I mean, that's one coming out in February? It's coming out this month. It's supposed to come out this month. Still have the box for this one, but yeah, simple, old school S.H.Figuarts Perfect Cell box. Well, that's not really what we're here for. Let's get that out of the way and have a look at the figure. Now, this guy is he's hit and miss. A little bit of backstory. I was not a fan of S.H.Figuarts when it started off. I got the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and I was like, oh man, the knees are terrible, the pants look kind of wonky, and there were a lot of things about the figure I didn't really like. And then I saw this guy, this Perfect Cell dude, and I was like, man, one of my favorite things about him is that all his joints and everything are hidden so well because they molded so much detail on all the stuff that's supposed to be like big ball joints and whatnot. But we'll get to that. First and foremost, we're gonna have a look at the height of this guy. He stands at about almost 18 centimeters, really to the top of his crown, going all the way up there, which is a little over 7 inches. I mean, that's one thing. I do believe he's a little bit too small. I mean, maybe that's just me, but I think he's too small. I think he could be a little bit bigger. Because, I mean, he's pretty damn tall in the show, and also kind of more wide than all of this. And that's kind of one of the things about this figure. Now, overall detail and sculpt and shading on it is pretty impressive, especially since all of these spots, all these darker green spots, they're actually molded on. That's not just painted on, that's actually textured. You can feel it when you're rubbing over it. Now, the face is kind of wonky. I mean, he has a different one. But that was one of the things where a lot of people look back at it and say, his eyes are just kind of way too big and it looks kind of wonky. The face itself is not that bad. And then you have the black metallic going on, which, once more, it's not bad. But personally, I wouldn't have made it metallic. I would have just made it like a more shiny black, that's fine. But metallic, meh. And of course you have the wings. It's also kind of... It tends to kind of disconnect. Nothing really breaks off, but it tends to disconnect. I'm just saying. He's kind of a little bit loose. It's hit and miss. I mean, I've probably said that already, and I'm probably gonna say it a couple more times because I tend to repeat myself a lot. But, yeah. It's probably the best way to look at it. Now, articulation-wise, first of all, the head is pretty limited. It always goes side to side. But it doesn't go all the way around because it's kind of blocked by the entire crown here at the back. I mean, basically that's the problem. And you don't really get back and forth as much also. You get a little bit of articulation out of the neck. That's also just a little bit of wiggle motion, and it goes side to side a little bit, but it doesn't really bring out much. Then at the shoulders you have a single hinge holding the shoulder pads on there. But the entire shoulder piece, I mean this purple piece, goes into the torso, and you have a butterfly joint kind of thing going on, which rotates around, can bring it forward nicely and back. And all around, up and down and whatnot, out to the side. And like I said, this kind of lines up nicely, just move it up and down if it gets in the way. Then we have bicep swivel going on over here. The double hinged, or is it a single hinge? There's actually like a single hinge. The piece that goes into here kind of gets a little bit of motion, but it's not. It snaps back immediately, so that's no good. Then at the fist, I mean the hand, open hand. Right now we have an open hand. Usually there's a fist on there, but yeah, rotates around, goes up and down a little bit. Then the torso gets good range. Wriggles all around. It's kind of loose, like I said. It's kind of like a thing, but it looks okay, and they sculpted it nicely, so it doesn't really gets broken up. Not too bad, at least. So then down there we have one of the old school S.H.Figuarts stuff where you can pull it out and it's just super loose. You can rotate it around as much as you want, bring it forward, bring it back. But if you really want the clean conversion, you just kind of tuck it back in and you still get good range out of it. It still works, so there you go. So down at the legs, you kind of have the same thing. You can kind of pull these down, and you have all this range over here. You have a big gap, but you can bring it forward. Out to the side, gets blocked by the sculpt, and goes back. That's fine, and for a little cleaner look, you can just tuck it back in. But you still get a good amount of it, and like I said, it looks good. They have all that hidden. Now the wings back here are connected by a single ball peg. I don't know if you can see that. Just like a single ball. You can rotate that out to the side and make it go up a little bit. I'm actually surprised that it hasn't disconnected yet, because I really was expecting that, because I had a lot of problems with that when I took them out of the packaging all the way back. But anyway, we have the knees, have a great knee pad on there. Looks good, same thing, there's some older detail going on over there, so there's no big gaps or whatnot. I mean, there's still a little bit, but it looks pretty clean. And we have an ankle rocker at the foot, and super loose also. Goes forward, not really much, and back, and I keep running into my lights, that's why that's what that sound is. And we have a toe hinge, and that's all for the movement of this guy. Let's have a look at the accessories, because he came with quite a lot. That was back in the day when they just kind of just threw the box chock full with stuff, energy effects and whatnot. So let's have a look at that. Man, this really kind of does take me back, because look at all the stuff in here. Just look at all the things you had with the old school S.H.Figuarts when they started. Like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how they don't do these things anymore. So first of all, you have the crossed arms. I'm a huge fan of that, because you can just kind of swap that out with your regular arms, and you don't have any gaps, and it looks clean and it looks nice. And you have the two more faces, same problem. They don't look bad, but the eyes are just off. And then we have a couple more hands, all with the nicely painted fingernails. First of all, you have the kind of blast hands, and then all kind of posing type hands, but still blast hands kind of thing. And the fists, also nicely shaded, by the way. That's something that I haven't really mentioned a lot, but yeah, this guy actually has shading. Holy crap! Remember shading? S.H.Figuarts doesn't remember shading, and I know I'm ragging on them a little bit. I mean, I still like their new stuff, but there's a couple of things that's just kind of weird. And speaking of which, remember these? You had a full-fledged diorama back in the day. I say back in the day like it's been so long. Oh, it's only been like 5 years or something. Anyhow, yeah, this is the stuff you had with Cell. So first of all, you have like the energy effect, and also the ground. It was all kind of like disconnected. Take this off. I'm not gonna do it in front of camera. I just put it together for you guys to show it to you. But yeah, anyway, I kind of like this. I usually don't set it up with the figure because it takes up too much space, and it's something I'm severely lacking in these days. Not enough space, too many figures. But yeah, overall that was a nice damn add-on. I mean, the ground itself looks cool. I wouldn't have made the energy effect blue, the kind of line. I would have just made that white with probably maybe a little bit brownish at the end, or at even down here. But it depends. I mean, it still looks cool. There's some small pieces of ground still like flying around. And you have the Kamehameha energy effect, which once again, it looks cool overall. And it's fairly heavy. That was another thing. I just took it out of the box and I was like, damn man, I could rob a bank with this thing. But yeah, I think it could be a little bit more see-through. It's kind of like very, it's not see-through at all at the top here. It's just like kind of getting it in the middle, but as you can tell, it's not really a lot. So, whatever. I mean, it's still overall a cool piece, and kind of sad they don't really do that much anymore. And that already brings us to the final thoughts. Final thoughts, what do I think about this figure? Well, I mean, I've said it at the beginning of the video. I've said it a couple of times, and I'm gonna say it again. This guy's hit and miss. He's pretty damn cool. Overall, the sculpt work and what they did with the articulation, hidden in well, shading, paint, all of it is pretty damn good. The main problem I have with him is I think he's a little bit too small. Could be a little bit higher, could be a little bit taller, could be a little bit, even a little bit wider depending on how you look at it. I mean, he just kind of looks fairly slim compared to anybody else, and I don't know. And the face. That's really the only two things that are really I would say not so great. I wouldn't say anything bad about this even. Like, it's still a good figure, and I don't know about the recolored version. It looks pretty much the same, so I don't think they're gonna change anything about it, which is a little bit sad. I mean, they could have changed the face. That would have been cool. I wouldn't have expected them to change the height and everything. Like I said, it doesn't. It's just a premium color. It doesn't look like they're gonna change the mold or anything. This is Cell. This is a great figure overall with a tiny bit of flaws. So if you can still track them down for a decent price, so just get the premium colored one. I guess that's probably your best bet, because I think this guy costs about like $160 or something like that, which is just crazy. Before I ramble for another 10 minutes, I'm just gonna end it right here. As usual, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, feel free to hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever Perfect Cell wants.